Yes.
And what do you do during the month of Ramadan?
Sleep? I sleep, and I try to read books where there's a lot of pictures, basically, just to focus,
and
basically.
wait until
the break fasting.
That's right. But now you can beat the boredom in the month of Ramadan with the help of this new campaign from Google Play Indonesia. It's called the Salib Level Promo that invites users to enjoy games at a heavily reduced price.
Wow, there's a new game in town. All right. So basically, in the Salib Level campaign, Google has turned the spotlight to Indonesian gamers and game producers. To tell us more about the local market, we have Putri from Google Indonesia.
Hello.
Welcome to Daily 90, Putri.
Thank you for having me.
Talk about the games,
We have fun stuff, We have
I
an avid
love
gamer here.
games. Back in the day, we used to play, I mentioned to you, Mario Kart or Tetris, she mentioned before, and so many things. But this new game, could you tell us about this new game? Or what is it about?
It's a new campaign called Salib Level, right?
So Salib Level which is beat your level in Bahasa Indonesia.
Yeah.
It's inspired by the gaming behaviors in Indonesia. So we did user study, we studied these gamers.
Right.
And we found out that there are two types of gamers in Indonesia. Number one is the community gamers. This is like the people who play games because their friends are playing
basically. Are they a game freak? Or
So these are like, oh, my friends are playing Candy Crush, so I'm gonna play them also. And the second one is the competitive gamer. So these are they're like, what's your level? I'm gonna beat your level. So that's how it was inspired from the first place.
And how from this survey that you did, right? Which one holds more, users, you would say, or more players?
Competitive gamers.
Wow, more competitive gamers.
They are very, very engaged with the games, with the people they're playing the games from around the world. So so that's why we present this campaign. We built this campaign.
So basically, they're competing with not only Indonesian users or gamers, also across the world.
Across the world,
These are international games we're talking about.
Yeah,
that's worldwide.
Have you heard about Clash of Clans?
Yes.
Pokemon Go?
Yes. That's what wow,
I like that. I feel like a gamer already.
Yes.
And tell us more about this campaign. There are, like mentioned, discounts, what are promotions, and also a reduce in price for the games. Tell us more about that. So
this is basically the first Ramadan campaign that we built for the gamers in Indonesia. So because we saw that during Ramadan, particularly when they're waiting for break fasting or ngabuburit, so the amount of digital content and entertainment, one of them is games, is really
increasing.
High. So we are offering there up to 80% discount. So we work with top game developers
around the world.
So from big names like Clash of Clans to the popular local ones like Tahu Bulat. So they're offering a lot of exciting discounts and promotions. For example, if they want to advance their game, if they want to buy coins or jewels, if you play,
they would spend those kind of amounts.
Yes, and then so they have it cheaper this month. This is also because the search for discounts and promo, people really hunt for them during Ramadan.
And the Salib Level, basically, what's the concept of this? I mean, is it one of those fighting games or one of those adventure concept?
Basically, all games that have levels. Even you can play just the simple games like Candy Crush, it has levels. People actually want to up their level.
Diner Dash.
Yeah, she plays this kind of
Diner Dash, correct.
See,
so you play time management games a lot. There are levels, and sometimes you want to buy something just to make your restaurants prettier.
That's true. This is a perfect time for me to make my restaurant nicer.
There you go,
Yes.
And so far, have you actually seen, this has been a couple of days of Ramadan already, and can you see the growth in the games itself, the downloads of games, and what kind of games are most popular right now?
Yeah, so games is actually the fastest growing. If it's not Ramadan, even outside Ramadan, it's actually the most downloaded apps in Google Play. It's higher than social media, so people can download up to 4 new games every month. Every month. 4 new installs. So
and
that's
these are even paid games, not just free games. Because I always look for free games. Sorry.
I can understand that. I can understand. I would do the same too.
So So it's the fastest growing, and that's why we have local developers actually like now springing in, like tahu bulat, warung chain, So, and what's interesting is what is popular for Indonesia, for games to be successful in Indonesia, it has to have a social element.
Okay, such as
So we love to play games that makes us more social.
Okay.
For example, the Pokemon Go was very
Other players
They
as
love
well.
to play it with other people, right? Like tahu bulat is also
And these are
popular.
community games,
Yes.
yeah, you would say.
So that would be the first one, and the second one, I don't know. There's this obsession around food. If you notice, like local games, it's like
Yes.
Right.
tahu bulat, nasi goreng. So you
Really?
mentioned all the food.
Oh, I'm hungry right now,
I know it's like fasting season,
Right.
but so I asked the local girl, what's this thing about food? And they said like, I guess food makes people want to play games. You play Diner
Yes,
Dash.
exactly.
It's something.
Playing with food makes you hungry also,
I
right?
love it. Back then, even when they were still playing that kind of, that game, ding dong game, what do you call it there? I always pick the food one, where you put the hamburger and stuff.
What about this? When we see on the screen right now, there's a pool table here. Is it one of those games also where people would spend time
What
like...
kind of game
Yes,
is this?
so
This
This
is
is a
community
pool,
or
yeah.
It's a
competitive?
community, so you can have like a multiplayer game as well, or you can like play with the computer if someone is not around. But basically, this is a billiard game, also very popular, also offering discounts here.
What about
for
like
this
card
Ramadan.
games? Back then we used to play like
Oh, you love the card?
Solitaire.
I like those
Solitaire.
racing games. She loves this card games,
Do they still have solitaire right now?
So actually, that social trend also comes from because before we are playing games with PC or
True.
console,
That is true.
right?
Yeah,
Which
old
is
school.
right. So you're actually like you're stuck in one place and you just play it there. But now with mobile penetration,
You
with
can
now
play
people
anywhere.
have mobile phones, you can play anywhere and you can play together with your friends. So it's actually cheaper to play games now.
Okay, we're talking about games also because how many people are playing games? How many hours are they playing each day usually? Or is it just doing like breaks or maybe
Right.
2 hours before the break fasting?
We have the data for Ramadan. We see that it will increase before sahur, before the
Right.
While people are
I guess because
waiting
they're
for sahur, yeah.
and then it will go down as they go about their day, and then
Okay.
it will go up again
Rise
during
again.
while they wait for break fasting.
Wow, very interesting. And
This
what
is just not for games, but also entertainment content though in general.
Such as, for example?
Like videos.
Okay.
The YouTube videos. Like that. Yeah.
What about age? Do you have like an age range? Who plays games more at a certain time, and what kind of game to they actually pick?
We don't actually have users data, but then based on the industry study, I will say like it's the young ones, the millennials.
That's true.
Like us.
That's true. Yeah, we're
Like
still young.
17 and 15, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this is what the promotion looks like, yeah? And you work
Yes.
together with also providers, all the
Developers,
Yeah.
game developers.
Yeah, game
it's
developers.
exactly one of the most exciting now that we have this successful local developers.
And a lot of them, yeah?
Yes, a lot of them. So I was actually saying to them, if Korea has Gangnam Style that
Right.
goes international, we probably will have a local game like Tahu Bulat going global, and that's actually
And that
that's
is
gonna
more
be our Gangnam
popular.
Style.
Oh, there you
And
go.
that is more
Tahu
popular
bulat.
than international games,
Yes, yeah. Like a game like warung chain. Warung is a concept that is only familiar to us Indonesian,
Right.
right?
That's right.
But people
it's
from
well known.
United States is playing it. And
Wow, we should be proud of that games also.
I'm very proud of
All
them.
right, now, Putri, we have a lot more to ask about the benefits and also
Yes,
the type of
the
games,
campaign
but we're
also.
going to go for another short break.
Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to Daily Night. Still with Putri from Google Indonesia.
Yes.
Talking about the campaign of games and it's called
Salib Level.
Salib Level.
Which means beat the level,
Yeah.
right?
Level.
And games, for example, I'm not a game freak, but I love these old school games. Are there any old school games like, Mario Kart or Tetris? Are they included in this, what you call
Salib Level.
Salib
Yeah.
level game. Basically, we call this forever games or forever appealing games.
Yeah.
Remember Pac-Man? Everybody
Yes.
remember
Oh
Pac-Man?
my
Yes.
goodness, did she just mention Pac-Man? Yes.
He has a tattoo of Pac-Man
Yes,
right
Yeah,
here.
I do,
Pac-Man is
my
pretty
heart.
much alive today, and people are still
People
playing
are still
it. Yeah.
playing
I
it.
would play. I
It's
didn't know
very
that.
easy to do, and it's just really fun, very engaging,
True.
and it's not going anywhere. And the Mario franchise is not
Yeah,
going to go
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
anywhere.
yeah, that is my favorite. I still have that.
But talking about levels, like for example, now as we get older, we're we're good at the games. How are the level? Are they getting harder, or you have this amount where you finished the level top?
I think it's getting harder. It's getting
Ooh,
harder.
I
And
like
they
that.
keep on producing new
Yes.
games, and new
Yes,
games
yes.
is never
but
ending.
It's just
Yeah.
now, I think the difference now is that in order for you to advance, you have to share more now. Because before, there is no sharing element for
Yeah,
us
yeah, yeah.
before.
True.
Now, it's actually, games are actually encouraging people to share more, to be more social now.
So
which
you
is
would say
actually
there are more
good.
benefits with playing games now as opposed to back then during your time. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
so,
Your time.
Yeah.
so in the user study that we found a very interesting concept now. It's actually, before we always thought that gamers are antisocial, they're
Right.
Yeah.
introverts.
Yeah.
But nowadays, they're actually one of the most engaged community here in Indonesia. They're
Okay.
very, very tight, and then they're very happy to play games because they know that they're playing games with people from other countries.
Okay.
And also, we had YouTube Fan Fest last year, and then when we had the gamers on stage,
Right.
they had the most fans coming.
Really?
The gamers.
So there's a lot of enthusiasts.
Very,
come
very
from gamers.
engaged, very tight community. Very, yeah.
And is there a trend when it comes to games? Like, there's a trend for hair, there's a trend for shoes. What about games? Like a certain type of game is played during a certain time, and then after that, it's gone.
There will be trends for the community gamers type that I
Okay.
told you because they see they use games like as a social currency. Oh, everybody else is playing it, I'm gonna play it also. So there will be trend there for example the Pokemon Go,
Right. Yeah,
right, and then Candy Crush, like the
Right.
popular ones. But for the competitive gamers, for the hardcore gamers,
Right,
then there
right.
are no trends. If it's just if they see that it's a good game, they're gonna stick with it.
And they're willing to spend also. That's the thing.
And
you know?
pay a lot.
To pay. I mean,
unlike us.
mommy,
I'm
you
sorry,
know, I want to
unlike
buy the
us.
game, and then at the end of the
Yeah.
month, it's like, okay, my kid has just bought this game, this game,
And,
this game.
and children nowadays, they ask for games for their birthday instead of I would ask for money.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is that coming
something.
from
That's the
heart?
difference between kids
Isn't
and
it?
adults. That's
They
the
would
problem.
ask for games. And these games can be quite
It's not
expensive.
a lot. Well, yeah. Well, it's not. That's why discounts. They actually search for discounts and promo.
Everybody loves discounts, right?
Yeah.
I love discounts, promos, yeah.
But it's true, it does happen. That's why we actually, as in Google Play, we make payments easier for them. So, so if for example we make them able to pay with their mobile credits,
Okay.
so they can actually choose if they only want to spend just 3,000 rupiah, for example.
They can.
Yeah. So they don't have to spend,
Yeah.
too big of a money.
And
like that.
and you mentioned there's a growing number of Indonesian local gamers, you say here. And in
Correct,
terms of, let's say, game producers, do you think that the rate is the interest rate for game producing is high?
Yeah, it's a very because games is the most downloaded apps in Google Play. So obviously it is
The
a
game
very
producing.
exciting industry for them, right? So you've heard about Tahu Bulat.
Yeah.
That's own games, and those are just 2 people in Bandung, and we have.
And now a lot of people are playing that game also.
Yeah, and then we have Warung Chain. That's just like 8 Indonesians working on it, and people from United States are playing them.
Okay.
So it's a very, very progressive industry, and I am actually looking forward to have more Tahu Bulat, more
Tahu. We
Warung
should
Chain
try downloading
creators.
that.
We should.
And in
Yeah,
terms of
so-
Salip level itself, right? Is it just applicable for games only? You mentioned there's a lot of discounts and promotion, but is there anything else that we can?
Yeah, so Salip level is only a part of the whole Ramadan campaign for Google Play. So there are also apps for the daily life apps. So for example, grocery shopping apps. So for example, for the mom who wants to wants to cook,
Okay,
and then
for the fasting,
and then
fasting.
they need last minute ingredients they forget to buy. Check the grocery shopping apps. They have promo as well.
So these apps basically also helps you to get what you need also,
Yeah,
right?
so basically these are apps that will help you get through Ramadan easier.
And as for Ramadan, for example, could you name us, for example, on top apps, like for example, that Indonesians use during Ramadan?
Food will be number 1.
Wow.
Food is a very crucial element during
Even though they're
Ramadan. If it's a
fasting.
food delivery, a grocery shopping.
So
yeah.
this is
Anything to
basically,
do with
yeah, I see basically this app, like you're more convenient, like for your time because of the traffic and etc.
Correct,
With this app, basically, it helps you to save time.
Yes. So, for example, the breakfasting is already 10 minutes away. You're stuck in traffic. You have nothing else to do, but you have to order.
Right.
Yeah, and then actually the second app is actually navigation apps that people use.
Because people get
Check
lost
the
a lot.
traffic, and then it will actually check the traffic. Should I go home? Will I make it on time? And especially during the homecoming later, the mudik season. When
So this app basically will tell you the route where
That's one of the
it's
most
less traffic.
Yes.
Or you can get home a lot faster.
Yes, and they use that. They use that to also search restaurants nearby, gas stations nearby.
And all these promotions, is it only going to be held during Ramadan period, or will you be having it, in a later time as well? Maybe in other seasons, other holidays?
Yeah. So. Ramadan, this is the first Ramadan, but before that we also have promotions for Independence Day, for example, where we showcase the best of the best local apps that are made in Indonesia. We also had a promotion during Chinese New Year.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a lot of promotions coming with this one's Ramadan. Ramadan is obviously, very special.
So
for
this ends
Indonesians.
during Ramadan, yeah, all this promotions?
For this one, yeah.
And you mentioned also, I'm trying to go back to that because I really need to know these kind of apps that were in the top 5. You mentioned about food, navigation also. What are the 3 more that you can mention to us to share with us?
So entertainment,
Okay.
so that's where games is playing a role.
Okay.
Number 4, obviously, photo editing apps.
Oh, don't we love to photo? Yeah. So the photo makes you a lot handsome and beautiful.
Obviously,
I like that.
picture taking is a very, very important part.
That is true.
Does that come to show that
Okay.
Indonesians are narcissistic in a way?
The thing is basically, Indonesians love to take photos when it's like on traffic,
or
stuck on
selfie.
traffic, or I'm hungry and I'm waiting, So that's one of the...
That's actually part of the promotion. Can you believe?
Okay.
There is a photo editing app in the promotion.
So it makes you a lot younger and prettier.
Because it is a bit,
You're
it
gonna have to
is very
share with us.
important.
Yeah, you're gonna have to share with us after the show probably. And the last one.
The last one,
The last one is social media apps.
All
Okay.
right. And social media comes
Sharing
last,
app,
you would say?
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Putri from Google Indonesia for sharing with us.
for sharing
I
with
had
us.
good time here.
Yes,
It was
I'll be
fun.
sure to check out the games and also the photo app. We love that.
Yes, and don't
Yeah.
worry, it's not just during Ramadan. They'll have a lot more other, promotions and campaigns in the upcoming years.
Yeah,
right?
so just go to the Google Play homepage right now.
Okay.
It's already
And the access is
available.
very simple and easy.
Just go to Google Play.
Okay,
a lot
thank
of
you very much.
promotions, so check it out. Just, waiting to break fast.